Hello, everyone. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So, today was a day of a lot of communication because of the announcement that I did today, and all related to this power of our star planet, which is Mercury. And I say this because if you hadn't noticed or hadn't seen it yet, I have done a video today, a live streaming, speaking about the event, the gathering that will take place in February 22nd, 2022. So if you hadn't seen it, just look it here, watch it here in this YouTube channel. So let's begin with the video for today, explaining the video explaining the planet of Mercury. Let's go to Mercury. I'm improvising, so I don't know if starting from the name or Mercury. So this is the name of the planet. According to Rome, is Mercury. According to Greece, is Hermes. So remember that it doesn't matter which name we use, we are speaking about the same God, the same person. And now we are going to not destroy, but to resignify what is really this God. God is another etymology for the English, but just for you to know, the way in which a God is explained is by the word divinity. Divinity has the same etymology like Zeus. In Spanish, Zeus, like in Latin, Deus, comes from Zeus, which is the god, the Greek god, okay, of the skies. Zeus is the origin. So, and Zeus comes from Dieu. Dieu means day in English. So it's also related with light. Day, light. So yesterday I was explaining about how the concept of God comes from, okay, where it comes from and how it is created. Remember, as I said yesterday, that it's not a God that creates the things, it's the unity of things that creates the image of a God. Okay? I'm not speaking about beings from another dimensions. I'm speaking about the concepts of God from our point of view, in our humanity, in our way of thinking. Okay. So once we understand this, we will know that these names and these gods doesn't appear to create things. They appear to unify certain objects or certain people. Well, so let's go to the etymology to see what are these gods unifying. So in Latin and Etruscan language, we have this that means commerce, and ius that means the one. So this word here talks about the one that makes commerce, that sells, that buys. So the summary is the merchant. Merchant. So Mercury means the merchant. So Hermates is the one, and this means cairn. So a cairn is many stones one over the other one. So this means the one that is in the cairn, in the pile of stones. And the cairns were used to make signals on a path, on a way, so you don't get lost. That's the used for a cairn. Who are the ones that walk by the cairns in the path, following the cairns? The merchants. And why is this? This is in the past, as always, speaking about that time. The merchants were the people that used to to travel all around, going to the markets, but they were not only selling things or buying things, exchanging things. They were also bringing the news. So the people not only went to the market to buy, they were also to the market to know the news of what is happening in other places, in other cities, towns, what the king has said. Yes, they were the ones saying all the news to all the people. The merchant was a kind of a messenger. They were the messengers of that time. So this is how in Greece and Rome, Mercury and Hermes is the concept of all those who gives the message. Because the merchant were not only the people who sell, they were used to bring messages from one town to another, and also used by the kings and the powerful people to know what the people were thinking in the streets. So these merchants were the ones going to the market, listening what the people used to say, and then some of them would say to the king what was the thought of the population. So the merchants and the travelers were basically the old social media. Our social media of today were the Mercury of that time. So the merchant also were the ones bringing technology, because they found a discovery in one town and they took that discovery to other towns. So they would bring the news, the new things, the innovation. They would bring new cultures, new ideas, new philosophies, new stories, new words. They would be the ones that brought all the new things to everyone. Because of this, the importance of these people, of the merchants, they took this idea of all these people, and together they created the concept of a god that protected them. And this would be the messenger and the merchant of the skies, from the kingdom of the sun. So they created the idea of the one that takes care of the path, that take care of the ways, of whom? Of the ones that sell, of the ones that brings the news. Mercury. Did you get how this idea comes from? Not even Mercury, not even Hermes were people. They were concepts. The same thing happens with Jahuti, that the Greek people used to call Thoth. Also, this is the origin of, this is the same idea with Jahuti. Jahuti is the Egyptian name of Thoth. But Thoth, the people call him Thoth because the Greek people weren't able to say Jahuti. It was impossible for them to say it. So they, instead of saying Jahuti, they said Taoti. Taoti. That's why the name evolved into Thoth. But nobody said Thoth in Egypt. Everyone said Jahuti. Okay? So the concept of Thoth is the same of Hermes and Mercury. It was not a real person. It is a concept. It's a concept of the messengers, the ones that give the message. So a way to understand why this is a concept and not real person, a way in which we can understand that this is a concept, is with something that we have today using the same concept, which is the name the Pope. The Pope. When I say the Pope, you think about the Pope that you have now, like the Pope Francis. But we can also say the Pope talking about Ratzinger, or we can also say the Pope talking about John Paul II. But it's the Pope, always is the Pope. The Pope is the concept. The Pope is an entity that can be acquired by many people. So that's why through the history, we have a lot of people that were Hermes, a lot of people that were born as Thoth, a lot of people that were born as Mercury, incarnating the concept of this being. So Thoth is not a person. Thoth is a title that many people used through history. See? Perfect. So once we say this is not referring to a god, it's referring to a concept. So these kind of things are like, so these are concepts. Like, for example, you can say that there is Hermes Trismegistus because it existed, but that's an epithet of the person that was incarnated the concept of Hermes in that moment. Like when you say Thoth, Jahuti was the one written that wrote the Kybalion and Seven Laws of the Universe. Yes, he did, but the concept was the one who did it. Maybe the person has another name, but he was incarnated that concept. So someone said about Merlin too. Merlin is not the name of the magician. Merlin is blackbird. Blackbird is that kind of bird. It means it's in French, Merlin. That is blackbird. The person that is blackbird is like a name of that magician. This is why along history we had many people named with the same name because they were incarnated this concept. This is why so many of us can channel these concepts. We are not channeling the person, we are channeling the concept of these persons. The information that they had. So in Spanish, the Wednesday, the name of the day comes from Mercury. It's the day of Mercury. In English, it's also the name of a messenger. Wednesday is the name of Odin, which is Odin. They call it Wotan. Wotan. So Odin. And Odin, Wotan, was the messenger of the people because he brought the runes, so we could learn from the runes the knowledge of the gods. It was the messenger also. So the Wednesday, miércoles, is the name of the messenger. So now, why they call Mercury to the planet? Venus, Mercury, Earth. So this is the Mercury's orbit, the elliptic of the orbit of Mercury. Here is the orbit of Venus and then the Earth around. Now, check this. Mercury, its orbit is so short that it takes 88 Earth days to make a whole turn. So it's so fast that Mercury gives one turn, second turn, third turn, when the Earth has done only one. So of course that the year are not always like exactly like in Earth. So it takes like sometimes 3 whole turns, and some other times it does 4, and some others 3.5, and so on in one Earth year. Okay, so what I want to say is that it gives like 3 complete turns inside an Earth year, and usually, but it shares a 4th one with some month in the next year. From our point of view of Earth, Mercury goes so fast because of the gravity of the sun, and it's so close that it pushes it so fast that when it goes and moves around the sun, taking these 88 days, from our point of view, we see Mercury moving like 4 times in that direction, 4 times in this direction, 4 times in that direction, going out from the sun, going into the sun, once and again. So in 1 year, we see this star, this planet, moving so fast, outside and inside, outside and inside, that the image is like this one is giving a message outside and bring the answer back to the sun. In the ancient times, when they saw how this planet was moving once again from one spot to another, they saw like it was traveling and coming back to the sun. So suddenly they said, whoa, if it's moving so much, this means that this planet is a messenger. So this planet is the god Mercury. So this is why the ancient ones put all these concepts to the concepts of the messenger to this planet. And that's how we created the idea that this planet is the one that represents the communication, the innovation, the technology, the new things, the news that are coming, the ability to speak, to communicate the languages, the wisdom, the learning, the teachings. So for sure you have heard something that every planet usually do. But Mercury does it between 3 to 4 times per year, which other planets doesn't do, which is to retrograde. So for sure you have heard about Mercury is retrograde. So what does this mean? So first of all, the word retrograde comes from the word retro and gradus. Retro means to come back, to go back. And gradus, grade, means step or a stair. So retrograde means to walk backwards. That's the meaning of retrograde. Here we have Mercury going that way, and we have Earth going that way. So this means that the planet is direct. What it means to be direct, that we are going in the same direction. The same direction. Okay? But what happened? Mercury goes so fast that it turns around the sun faster than Earth. So in the moment that Mercury is turning here, the Earth is still moving in that direction. So from our point of view, it seems like if Mercury is not going straight in the circle, it seems like it's going backwards. It seems like if it is going back to the same spot. Okay? Now let's see it from the psychological point of view. Now, from the point of view of psychology in this planet, as you perceive it in the skies, when you move in that direction, you are moving ahead. You go forward. So you are heading to the future, you are taking action, you are willing to do something. But what happened when you see someone walking backwards? When instead of going ahead, the person starts to walk backwards. The concept is like, oh, I don't know if I want to face this. I don't want to speak this. I don't want to see this. I just want to go away from this, escape. I disappear. And I go to the past. I go to the ideas that stuck me in the past. So psychologically, we start to think, to perceive, like if this planet is telling us you cannot move forward, the whole energy is pushing you backwards. So now the question would be, why this is affecting us if it is a psychological perception? Why it doesn't affect just a few and affects the whole planet? The answer would be, the reason why it affects us is because in the moment when these things were acknowledged by the people, in the humanity, we were only 10,000 people. All around in the planet, only 10,000 people. And most of the people, all of them, all of us, are descendant from them. So from those 10,000 people, the 8 billion people that we live today in the planet Earth, we are family. We come from those people. So that's why we share the subconscious. We are all together. We are not disconnected. Thinking that it doesn't affect us is thinking that we are all separated, and it's not like this. So now, if we are moved by the stars and the planets when they are in the direct state or the retrograde state, is because we are still living through the subconscious. Because if we live through the consciousness, the planets and the stars are not ruling our lives. They become tools for our life and how to rule that, how to use our lives. So this doesn't take power to the astrology. This gives even much more power and responsibility, because astrology is not only ruling our subconscious, it's also giving us the tools to know how to handle our own life. So Mercury is the energy of the master, the energy of the teacher, the ones that gives the information, that shares, that brings that to every spot, the ones that brings the news. So to understand the planets and the constellations is kind of like learning a language. If you don't know the language, it's like if you are allowing others to use you because you don't understand. They can use you, they can laugh at you sometimes. But if you learn the language, you can communicate. You won't be taken for granted as a fool. So when we understand this language of the stars, we can communicate in a different way and not being used but using it for our own purposes. And this is the energy of Mercury, is the one teaching us, saying us, you have to learn how to use it. You have to go and look for more data, check for more information, try to reach more in order to awake the potential that you have. Wisdom can only be taken in the moment when you look for something, you learn something, you discover something, and then you allow yourself to doubt about it, to go back, to review all the things, and try to take another point of view and even change my perception of that thing that I've learned. The direct position of Mercury is the one that says, go, share, learn. And when Mercury becomes retrograde is when they say, stop, shut up. Let's think about what we have learned now. Let's try to go within and think if this is good or this is not, if this is truth or this is not, and seek within in silence. Is the moment to resignify, to watch again. From the subconscious, the Mercury retrograde is saying it's terrible because all the things work horrible. We don't like it because it faces to all the things that we don't want to see. But when we are aware, with consciousness, the retrogradation is a good process of meditation to see beyond, to try to understand better what we have done. Is a process of revision. And this little planet will push us forward and take exam at least 3 times per year during our whole life regarding our spirit, our soul, and our body. And nobody escapes from this exam. So I was doing the joke sometimes that in these classes I will take exam, but I'm not going to take any exam, of course, but Mercury will. So I'm doing this now because the next Mercury retrogradation, that would be the exam. There won't be any teacher doing, human teacher doing the exam. It will be a planet. So the exam will be by yourself from today, 22, till the next retrogradation of Mercury, about our wisdom. How do we take this information, this new information? How are we going with this process? So I will do a post explaining the exam, but it would be only for you. Okay? So let's see how we do it. Bueno. Let's go to the information for today. The vibration for today is De. The statement for today is I am resonant balance. The code for today is the East. This direction is interpreted as the place on the right side of the North, or better said, the direction from where the sun normally rises. In the rotation of a planet on its own axis by the north-south magnetism, the direction towards the world moves lets the stars appears on the horizon, known this way for being the direction of light, of fire. It's this way a direction of birth, rebirth, ascension, origin. Take a deep breath and start to become aware of your body by caressing it, stretching it, and yawning. Sitting comfortable until you focus only on your breathing. I start to become aware of the place I find myself, the room, and all the places that holds this room with me in it. The house, the village, the town, the country, the continent, and the entire world. I take a deep breath, becoming aware of my physical body, here and now. I become aware of the room, and I become the room, taking a deep breath. I feel the house, and I become the house, taking a deep breath. I feel the village, the town, taking a deep breath. I become this town. I take a deep breath, and I become the country I find myself in. I take a deep breath, and I become the continent where I am. Take a deep breath, and I become the planet where I find myself. I am the earth. I see the sun in front of me, and its warm light over all my skin as I feel the moon moving around. I watch in front of me Mercury close by the sun. Behind, Venus, then Mars. Around, far away, I find Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. And way back in the space, Pluto. I observe all of them. I am the solar system. I extend my arms towards the sun, and with my hands I take the tiny Mercury and I bring it to my throat, putting it inside in my voice. I feel the wisdom, the words, the sound, the knowledge activating in the truth of my voice, feeling Mercury expanding in my throat. And I activate its potential through my voice, through my singing. I become aware, questioning if my truth, my wisdom is locked within me, if it is free being expressed, or if it is invading the other's truth. I become aware that every step that I give in my life, I am learning and teaching. I am teacher, master, and apprentice. I recognize that it's the process of teaching and learning the one that pushed me forward. To evolve. But I recognize too that is the process of staying by, the silence, the meditation, the one that brings me wisdom. And is this wisdom the one that pushes me in my next step? To move forward and to move backwards is the eternal balance of the wise. I am resonant balance. I am resonant balance. I am resonant balance. I take a deep breath, and with my hands I take this information, this consciousness from my throat all over my body, caressing, stretching it, and yawning. And each one at its own time come back here and now. Today, we begin with our process of preparation for the connection of the entire Merkabah of our network. Today, February 22, is the wisdom. And for the next days, we will set the intention of that wisdom in our Merkabah, as we did today. And then the next 6 months, we will do the other attributes. The 22nd of March will be love. The 22nd of April will be will. The 22nd of May, the form. The 22nd of June, the sound. And the 22nd of July, the light. So we can activate the entire Merkabah of the network in August 22nd in the blue moon. So today, with the energy of Mercury, we activated the first pattern of wisdom. And from now on, we will be working with this in the next days and weeks. Thank you, everybody, for being here, as always. And see you tomorrow at the same time.